what was supposed to be last episode. I think I played like 7 or 8 games, maybe 6 or 7, I don't remember. And I think I won all of them except for one. I don't know if I'll ever show that footage just because like the whole voiceover was messed up. So I guess I'm gonna have to go over some of the things I already talked about in my last set of footage. But like basically I know I'm in silver, and I know that on my main account I'm a higher elo than these players. And my goal in this elo is obviously just to climb because I want to get out of silver and to get the one above all. But like I don't want to bully these players for no reason because like there's legit no point. So what I'm going to be doing, or at least trying to remember to do in these games, is just win as quick as possible, but like not make it a stomp. Like I'm not going to try and spawn camp and stuff like that, just because, you know, I don't get any joy out of killing these players. Yeah, unfortunately this game's not going to be really a good opportunity to show off my skill level in any sort of meaningful way, or give you any advice or things like that, or comment on my approach to playing or my philosophies, just because this game is so messy. And so they have a Hela and an Ultron, so I know that if I like over peek at all, I can easily be killed. And so what I want to do is bob and weave around this corner while throwing out my left click, because the thing is that Iron Man's left click is a projectile, right? And so while it's traveling toward the target to do damage, like my character doesn't have to be in their line of sight because it's a projectile, right? Like once I press the button, it gets launched out and it travels towards them. And that's not the same thing for something like Hela. Hela's a hit scan, or Widowmaker, or Black Widow, I mean. She's a hit scan, and so when she's shooting at me, she has to be actively in my line. I have to be actively in her line of sight, right, for her to actually do damage. But that's not the case for Iron Man. So I can just like have my head poked out for like the split second it takes to shoot my left click, and then hide behind the wall, and so that I'm unkillable while being able to do damage to them. It's not if I'm just playing against hit scan, it's almost all the time I'm doing that. Just because, you know, why would I take damage for no reason? Notice how there's like, I think I hear a tank below me, right? There's Hulk below me. I'm gonna completely ignore the tank, and the reason for that is just because not only do they have a massive health pool, but also there's the fact that they're being actively healed by their healers, and so the odds that I'm gonna be able to burst down one of them is incredibly slim compared to something like a 250 HP healer or DPS. See, and also another thing to pay attention to is who's being actively healed in the on the enemy team, right? And what I mean by that is if you... So I'm trying to kill this Ultron. So if you just look at the... Here, let me take a moment to look. So if you just look at the enemy team here, what you'll notice is that Cloak and Dagger, she's the furthest in the back. Like on the map, on the playing field, whatever you want to call it, in the area, she's the furthest in the back, and so nobody's behind her and is able to is looking at her and healing her. So when I'm shooting my blasters trying to poke them, the Cloak probably has her fade here, so I don't want to throw my ult out. Maybe after, yeah, right now. See, I knew Cloak had her fade there, so if I were to throw my ult out, obviously she was just gonna fade it. Unfortunately, now that I use my ult, I don't have it for Storm. But for Storm, I can just play really high up and it doesn't do damage to me. So I can just beam this through. She's still vulnerable. Playing the game is kind of like a cycle. So for example, like playing behind cover, I mean that's on every character, like I said before, playing behind cover as much as possible, because why take damage when you don't have to, you know? Also, so what I mentioned before is target priority. So actively analyzing the enemy team and making note of who you should be attacking because you actually have a chance at killing them. In higher elos, or just when you're playing against like a competent team, it won't be as easy as just like shooting the healers and getting kill all the time. Sometimes it can be a good idea to shoot the tank, like when you're in a choke or something, and maybe everybody on your team, so all 6 players or all 4 players, not the healers, are shooting at the enemy tank. Sometimes you can just join in on that damage and actually just get kills on the tank, you know, overpower. Just overpower their healing. Yeah, I don't want to peek that. So I'm gonna bob and weave this Widow here. That way she can't do any damage to me and I can just get free poke on her. So I have an early ultimate here, like I'm sure that nobody on the enemy team has an ultimate, so I'm just gonna throw it out. Oh my god, that was disgusting. Yeah, this is my second match on, by the way, in case I didn't mention. That's always something in the back of my mind, like where my positioning is relative to cover, because like you're so much less secure when you're not behind cover. Iron Man, I mean, Punisher turret's really easy to take out because it's hard for him to hit you with his turret while you're in the air. Because the bullets of his turret are actually projectile based and not hit scan. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, that's 3 ultimates. I'm just gonna wait for my team to regroup because as you can see through the walls here, there's only like 3 of them. Thor? Is that Thing? Thing's all the way back there, and so yeah, I don't wait for them to regroup because like let's say I use my ult and get like 1 or 2 kills, it's not gonna. Okay. I only got 1? Yeah, I'm out in the open again. I want to avoid that as much as possible, and I see Thor's getting pocketed, so I'm gonna ignore the Thor. Okay, Invis now because she's out in the open. Thor, because he's way too far forward, he can't be healed from that range. Okay, ping for heals. There we go. Okay, Widow, Punisher, because he's overextended. Nice. Okay, hide behind the payload. So right now, right there, I decided to go for the... Yeah, damn, she killed me fast. I saw her jump top right, and I don't know if you noticed, I pressed shift to start flying away, but I was too late. That was a nice shot too. Yeah, they're all looking at me, so now's a good time to back off. And another thing I just remembered. So another really important piece of knowledge is understanding characters' effective range. So let's take Thing for example. So let's say you're playing like, I don't know, Hela or someone ranged. Even medium range. The only place he'll be able to hit you is like if he's right here and like you're right here, you know? You can kind of think about how much range he has with his punch. It's pretty small. When you're fighting like a Thing, as often as possible, try to stay out of the range at which he can actually do damage to you. I know that's pretty like obvious, but that's like something that like you kind of just like do that intuitively a lot of the time, but sometimes you forget, and I found that I forgot a lot of the time unless I was until I actually like processed and thought about that actively. That's something to keep in mind. That's really important against characters like Magneto and Emma, I find. Okay, right there, that was just like a really small detail, but if you're paying attention, I was trying to play in a position as much as possible where he couldn't attack me from. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing with the Psylocke here. I'm playing where he can't hit me, like I'm using the ceiling as cover. Ultron ult is, it has splash damage, and so when you're trying to fight him and he's shooting his ult at you, don't play beside a wall or something because it's splash, it's AoE. If you're playing beside a wall, he's gonna be able to shoot the wall behind you and it's gonna splash and hit you. Like I'm really serious about this series, and I really want to make this a series about like climbing and getting better and like my journey to becoming a really good player. And so like later down the line, if I find myself getting stuck, like let's say for like 2 to 3 weeks, I get stuck in one elo, like I'm in eternity and I can't crack one above all, like I'm 100% interested in getting coaching from a high-level player, and I think that'd be really exciting, like if I could make a video of that, like being coached, because at the same time you guys can learn from what I'm learning from, you know, a really smart player, and so that'd be really cool. So I think I'll end the video there. That was 3 games, 3 wins. I get a job, alright, man. I do have a job. Unfortunately, the climb this season is going to be cut short just because there's 4 days left in the season, and we're playing 3 games a day. There's no chance I'm gonna be able to get to one above all, even if I win every single game, because you know that's like 12 matches. That'll be fine though. I can go for it next season anyway. So.